was kind of disappointed about the particular borehole because it went in there and came up with a backfill. But so what they
but we know there's still something down there worth looking for, right?
absolutely, absolutely,
No, okay, it went sideways. It went into where the old Caisson was. Well, so what? Big deal. Get over it. Drill another hole.
yeah. And don't leave too soon. Stay to the end of the show tonight because when we jump over to next week's, we got some stuff to talk about for next time on the Curse of Oak Island. And
Speculate.
here is part of the reason why. Couple of things, and this was an interesting shot right here. This was in the preview for next week. They found some bricks and what looks like, I think it's a rock. Tom has timber or rock marked there.
Yeah. At
Looks to
first
me
look
like
at it,
go ahead.
I thought it was a timber because there's other. You see the round logs behind it.
Yep.
So was it a timber that was put there for some purpose, or is that a rock? If it's a rock, somebody did a nice job making, squaring it off.
Yep. This area right here is what we're looking at. That looks like a rock to me, a shaped rock. What's the other thing you you noticed about this one, Tom?
Well, we're talking about the size and shape of the bricks.
Yep.
If you look at the size and shape of those bricks, they're old. So my first thought was, are the ones on top wooden, or are they man-made? And then because the one that they tap in the preview for next week is the gray one. You just see the corner of it. You can hear him tap it with his shovel, and it gives that metal sound.
Yep.
So, but if they're bricks, and I have this thing closed on me right now, they're old, right? They're not modern. Yeah. So your typical brick used for construction nowadays is 9 inches long, 4.5 inches wide, and 2.25 inches thick, right? Because it's 9, half of 9, half of 9 is 4.5, half of 4.5 is 2.25. That's your standard brick building size today, right? So I went back and I looked up and I said, okay, so why do I know if that's the size of a brick? When did they make bricks that size? Well, what we would call a modern day brick was actually the size of a modern day brick were actually stipulated in a charter of 1571. So that tells me it's pre 1600, right? Medieval bricks were generally ranged in sizes between 8.5 by 4 by 2 inches. 2 inches seems to be a pretty common thickness.
Yep.
Or 10 by 5 inches. Look familiar? By 2 inches.
That looks 10 by 5 by 2 to me.
Yep. Or somewhere's in that range. There's all these different sizes you can look up in Google and find and search. But it's definitely bigger than the dimensions of what we would consider to be a modern day brick.
And what did you say was the date on those old ones?
Oh, anywhere's pre 1600.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, could they have been making them for a longer period of time? Could people have brought them there from someplace else? Could they have been used for goodness knows what? But if they're man-made bricks, they're not modern.
Is it fire brick? I don't know.
It could
be fire bricks.
The question is, what are they doing there?
Exactly. Why are they here?
Right?
Why are they in there? So we'll see this in next week's show. We'll get an idea of what that's all about. But yeah, bricks of all things. Okay. The last thing that I thought was really, really cool that they showed in the preview for next week was this right here. And we know that they were just drilling into D.25-6.75, and we know that they missed it because they hit the backfill from probably T1 Caisson when they got down to 159 feet. But while they were drilling this one, Mike Telford said, void. Alex asked him, is it a void? And he said, yes. Wherever it is that they are drilling, whatever borehole this is, they found a void. And everybody was saying right off the bat, everybody, Craig and everybody's jumping in and go, that could be the money pit. That could be the money pit. That could be the vault. Guptill's CAD layer in the images he showed of the permits was named E.25-7.75. So obviously they drilled that as well. Oh, let me go back. So it would be right about in here. Yeah. So that would be right on the edge of the head and shaft.
They're closing in on it, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. and they found a void. Now Chappell found that what he's called the Chappell Vault. When they put in the Chappell shaft, did they put it over top of the Chappell Vault? Look what's inside of the Chappell shaft. H8.
Yep.
And H8 had a void at the bottom of it that may have been filled in by backfill.
It's a question where they're going to drop those caissons now. They're just trying to. We know they're going to drop them. It's just a question. They're trying to get a better sense of where they want to drop it.
Yep. I think I think the one I think that is going. They're going to put one. I think it was right in this area here. Is where, and I think honestly, folks, I think the one that left in the ground, and I said this last week, I think it's somewhere in that vicinity,
That
right
range there. Yeah, I think so.
The one that got left in the ground. And so we go back to that question: why did they leave it in the ground? I had two reasons why a caisson would get left in the ground. One was because something happened, something catastrophic happened, a collapse, something terrible, so a breakdown, something happened that they figured they could not get it remedied this season. So they waited till figure out what they're going to make a plan for next year, or they found something very significant and they didn't want to lose it or do a backfill because they have to backfill, take the caisson out. So they left the caisson there because they found something very significant, very important, which I'm hoping that's the case. And so they left it there.